Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session of the Montgomery County Council. We welcome you all here today. Today's a very important day for us. Not only is it our first full session back in 2025, but we are kicking off the year celebrating with a proclamation today and a breakfast, Muslim American Heritage Month. And we are just so glad to be with all of you here today, commemorating and celebrating this day and this entire month. I want to begin by thanking many of our guests who are here today. We have many people who are here in the audience, but I do want to recognize some folks who are here from Senator Van Hollen's office. We have Ashima Tawa is here. Thank you for joining us. From Congressman Raskin's office, we have Kathleen Connor and Maria Ahmad, and thank you for joining us. And we have Delegate Sarah Wallach, who snuck out of Annapolis. We appreciate you for being here. We know what a busy time this is. And we are joined by so many folks in our community, and our imams are also here, and I just want to thank you all for what you do in our community each and every day. Maryland is proudly home to approximately 350,000 Muslim Americans hailing from 60 different countries, and we have a growing Muslim American population here in Montgomery County. So I'm proud that we are kicking off today our first session of the year with this commemoration. Muslim Americans contribute to the social fabric of our diverse community and touch all sectors of our economy here in Montgomery County and across the state and nation. We are especially grateful to have such a breadth of incredible community partners and organizations working on behalf of our Muslim community, including faith groups, nonprofits, healthcare, senior care organizations, and many, many more. As we celebrate the rich cultures within the Muslim community and honor the far-reaching contributions Muslim Americans have made locally and globally, we must also recommit to standing up against hate and promoting inclusivity, respect, and solidarity. I want to particularly lift up the members of the Muslim cohort of the Council's Anti-Hate Task Force who have been instrumental in this effort, working collaboratively with the Multicultural, Multi-Faith Coalition and county agencies to make Montgomery County a safer place to live, worship, and raise a family. The work on putting in place the commemoration was a priority for this council, and I want to particularly thank Councilmember Friedson when he was president of the council during his presidency, really moving forward with these efforts. And I stated, it started with our anti-hate task force, which began under Councilmember Glass's presidency. And I am so glad to be the council president today who is able to preside over the proclamation. Together, all of us have come together to make sure the proclamation and the commemoration was done in partnership with our community and at time appropriate. And I am glad we are here today. While we know there's more work ahead, these commemorations are an opportunity to stand together and celebrate the rich cultures, histories, and shared values that make this country so great. While only a small number of states currently commemorate Muslim American Heritage Month, it is our hope that today's official recognition in Montgomery County will help pave the way for similar actions across cities and counties in the state of Maryland and at the federal level. So happy Muslim American Heritage Month. Now I invite our guests to come to the front here. Our county staff will help you come up, and we are going to have a few words from Adela Sharif, co-chair of the Muslim cohort for the Montgomery County Anti-Hate Task Force and member of the Maryland Commission on Hate Crime Response and Prevention, and Saba Rashid, president of the Montgomery County Muslim Foundation, will give a few remarks, and then we will read the proclamation. As people are making their way down, please come down. I do want to thank, we had a wonderful breakfast this morning, and acknowledge the Islamic Center of Maryland, their cafeteria, ICM Eats, for a wonderful breakfast. So please come on down.
Everyone.
Yeah.
If you're here for the breakfast, come on down.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, why not? Let's just all go down.
We'll just have to go straight down there.
We can do it. What? Yeah, we'll take it. Who's going first? Yes. All right. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get. Saba, you can. Yes.
So, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, speech today first. I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's not going to be long. No, it's just that on page. Okay. Good morning. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Happy New Year, everyone. Council President, Council members, honorable guests, community leaders, friends, and neighbors. My name is Sabah Rashid, and I'm President of Montgomery County Muslim Foundation. I promise I won't take much of your time and try to make it as short as possible. It is indeed an honor to be here today and to celebrate Muslim American Heritage Month, a meaningful opportunity to recognize and appropriate and appreciate the rich and diverse contributions of Muslims. Here in our vibrant Montgomery County, which comprises of 3.2% of Muslims, Muslims make an impact every day and are an integral part of our community's strength and diversity. Montgomery County is one of the diverse county in the nation. It is a microcosm of American diversity and a proud reflection of our shared values of inclusion and unity. This community has been a welcoming home to many who practice Islam, who have brought Islamic values of peace, compassion, inclusivity, generosity, charity, and an unwavering commitment to justice. These values are deeply rooted in Islamic teachings and echo the foundational principles of our great nation. There have been remarkable Muslim figures that have contributed to the fabric of our society, but this is also a time to acknowledge the everyday contributions of Muslim Americans, the teachers, the doctors, the entrepreneurs, community leaders who are here with us today, who strengthen our communities and embody the values we hold dear: compassion, service, and justice. At Montgomery County Muslim Foundation, the foundation that I represent today, we embody faith in action. Our mission is to feed the hungry and serve the needy and work towards a more hate-free and a hunger-free county. We serve all residents irrespective of race, color, or religion. In 2024 alone, we distributed over 500,000 pounds of food to serving approximately 80,000 needy individuals, run and operate African American scholarship programs, youth services for low-income immigrant children, as well as refugee rehabilitation services. We are committed to collaborating with all communities to build a more inclusive and equitable future. Let us continue to learn from one another, celebrate our differences, and uphold the values of respect and unity. But more importantly, we should continue to work together to overcome hate, bias, misunderstandings across all communities. In doing so, we strengthen not only our community, but we also the ideals that make this country great. I would like to really thank the Council President for giving me the opportunity to speak today and to recognize and celebrate this American Heritage Month. I do hope that together we can continue to build an America where every community is valued, celebrated, and each contribution is recognized. I hope I haven't taken much of your time. But thank you so much. Thank you. It was indeed really a great occasion. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saba. And as you were talking about Muslims in our community in every role, I do want to acknowledge we actually have one of our police officers' office here, Sharif, and just thank you for the role that you play in our community. And so, thank you. Adila, you want to speak?
First, I would really like to thank the County Council for listening to the recommendations of the Muslim cohort, the Anti-Hate Task Force. We made the recommendations, you made it happen. Thank you. As we gather to celebrate today, it is a time to honor the rich history, diverse cultures, and significant contributions of the Muslim Americans to our society. This month is an opportunity to recognize the achievements and resilience of a community that has been an integral part of the American fabric for centuries. Muslims have been in Maryland since the founding days, from doctors and scientists and teachers to small business owners and caregivers. They serve as the backbone of the healthcare system. In Montgomery County, we have clinics like ICM Cares and MCC Clinic who have been providing free services to the county residents. We have organizations and mosques like ICM, MCC, ISWA, ICCP, MCMF, and others who have been tirelessly working to fight food insecurity in Montgomery County. This month also serves as a reminder of the values that unite us all: faith, family, and community. Let us remember the words of the Quran, and they give food in spite of love for it, to the needy, the orphan, and the captive. We feed you only for the countenance of Allah. We wish not from you reward or gratitude. This verse beautifully encapsulates the spirit of generosity and compassion that is central to the Muslim faith. We would like to acknowledge the efforts of the U.S. Senator Cory Booker and U.S. Representative Andre Carson, who led the colleagues in introducing a resolution in 2024 recognizing January as the Muslim American Heritage Month. This resolution celebrates the achievements of Muslim Americans and highlights their contributions across various sectors while also addressing the need for public education and awareness to combat religious discrimination. Many states like New Jersey, Illinois, Washington, Michigan, and others have officially designated month to honor the contributions of Muslim Americans. These states acknowledge the positive impact that Muslim Americans have had on their culture. We would like to take this opportunity to call on Governor Wes Moore to take the initiative and designate January as Muslim American Heritage Month in Maryland. By doing so, we can further recognize and celebrate the invaluable contributions of Muslim Americans in our state and promote a greater understanding and appreciation of their rich heritage. As we celebrate Muslim American Heritage Month in our very, very diverse county, let us commit to learning more about the diverse cultures and traditions within the Muslim American community. Let us stand together against prejudice, discrimination, and hate, and promote understanding and respect for all. Like somebody just told me this morning, it is easier to hate someone you do not know. Please take a step, get to know a Muslim. Ramadan is coming, our doors are open, there's free food. Please come join us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was a wonderful way to kick off our morning and Muslim Heritage Month. And so now the council will read the proclamation. I'll kick us off. This is the County Council, Montgomery County, Maryland's proclamation. Whereas across the globe, more than 2 billion people are Muslim, making Islam the second largest religion in the world. And whereas...
We're going to have some musical chairs here. Whereas Muslim Americans have lived in the United States since before the founding of our nation, and in Maryland and Montgomery County, as was said. And Morocco was the first country to recognize the U.S. with the Treaty of Friendship in 1786, which remains one of the oldest unbroken treaties in our country's history. And
whereas the Muslim American population continues to grow in the U.S. and includes a rich tapestry of ethnic, racial, linguistic, social, and economic groups. And
whereas, according to the United Maryland Muslim Council, approximately 350,000 Muslim Americans from 60 different countries call Maryland home, and approximately 3% of Montgomery County residents are Muslim American. And
whereas Muslim Americans have made far-reaching contributions to virtually every aspect of society, including the arts, academia, business, entertainment, healthcare, law, philanthropy, public safety, public service, national defense, sports, and so much more. And
Whereas, despite their enormous contributions to the United States, Muslim Americans often experience prejudice, discrimination, xenophobia, and Islamophobia. And
whereas nearly 50% of Muslim Americans have reported experiencing religious discrimination, with that number rising to 64% for Muslim Americans whose appearance identifies them as Muslim, such as women who wear a hijab or headscarf. And
whereas we encourage all residents to report Islamophobia, anti-Muslim bigotry, and hate in all its forms, and urge our enforcement agencies to fully investigate each of these reports. And
whereas Montgomery County is proud to commemorate the diverse cultural traditions of its residents and seeks to provide inclusive space and opportunity to better understand, recognize, and appreciate the rich histories, significant contributions, and shared principles of our more than 1 million residents. And
whereas, as we uplift Muslim American heritage, residents, employers, and employees are encouraged to learn more about this integral part of our community. And
whereas we celebrate the values of unity, respect, and solidarity that strengthen the fabric of Montgomery County.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council, Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby recognizes and celebrates Muslim American Heritage Month, presented on this day, the 14th of January in the year 2025. Thank you very much, everyone. And now it's picture time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great job.
There. Good. All right, everyone. Thank you again for coming. That was a wonderful celebration and commemoration celebrating Muslim American Heritage Month. And it is a month, so we have the entire month of January. So thank you so much. Moving on now to our general business. Madam Clerk, will you please share today's announcements?
Good morning. Thank you, Madam President. I have two scheduling announcements this morning. The first is the public hearings on the FY26 capital budget, amendments to the FY25 to 30 capital improvements program, and the FY26 to 31 WSSC water capital improvements program will be held on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. and Thursday, February 6th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. here at the Council Office Building. Those wishing to provide testimony must register in advance via the Council's website, and more information on these public hearings can be found on the Council's website. Secondly, the public hearing for Bill 2824, Employees Retirement System and Other Post-Employment Benefits Administration, Power of Duties, has been rescheduled from January 21st, 2025 to February 18th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Those wishing to provide testimony must register in advance via the Council's website. Thank you, Madam President.
Great, thank you very much. And so we have some minutes to approve. We have the minutes from November 14th, 2024 closed session and closed session report, and the December 3rd, 2024 and December 10th, 2024 council sessions have been circulated to colleagues for approval. Are there any objections to approving these minutes? No, seeing none, these minutes stand approved. All right, now we move into the council will now sit as the district council to consider action on the sectional map amendment H-152 to implement the approved and adopted Tacoma Park Minor Master Plan Amendment. And I will turn it over to Ms. Dunn.
Good morning, Council. Before you, you have the sectional map amendment, and it is to implement the zoning that the Council has already approved in the Tacoma Park Minor Master Plan that came before you last calendar year. So we held a public hearing. There were no speakers at that hearing. That's done so that all the property owners, stakeholders can take a look at the zoning on the maps and ensure that to them it looks like what the council has approved. It gives council staff time, planning staff to review all these things and make sure it is consistent with the master plan resolution. That is the case. So today's action is fairly administrative in that it just represents the prior action of the council. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ms. Dunn, and I just want to acknowledge again the excellent work of our staff on the minor master plan in Tacoma Park, and we have some representatives from the planning department here who just throughout the whole process, this started when I was the mayor in Tacoma Park, and I had the privilege of working with many of you, and just want to thank you that we proved the plan, and now we're here today with the map amendment, so thank you so much. And I'll turn to Councilmember Friedson and Chair of our Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. I will move that we take action to approve sectional map amendment H-152 to implement the zoning recommendations of the Tacoma Park Minor Master Plan Amendment.
Trevor, do I second?
Second.
Councilmember Natalie Fanning Gonzalez seconds. I see no questions or comments. This is a roll call vote. So, Madam Clerk, I will turn it back to you.
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Glass?
Yes.
Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Albornoz?
Yes.
Councilmember Albornoz votes yes. Councilmember Fanning Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fanning Gonzalez votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Jawando?
Yes.
Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes.
Great. Well, thank you again for that. Next, our second agenda item today is our consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Council Vice President Jawando moved. Councilmember Katz second. Will all those in favor of our consent calendar today, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. All All right. That is it
Madam
until.
President?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
If I could just make a comment on consent calendar real
Go
quick.
ahead, Council Member Glass.
Thank you very much. I just want to bring attention to item G, which is something that the T&E committee had tentatively approved a few months ago and just needed some executive changes to be brought to the consent calendar today. Item G is Executive Regulation 524, speed humps for eligible county roadways. Since joining the council years ago, residents have been asking for more measures to make their communities safer so that kids could get to school safer, we could walk our dogs safer, and just get outside in a safer environment. And so by approving this regulation today, we are making it easier for communities to make their communities safer by having more speed humps and traffic calming measures. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. The council will now be in recess until 1:15. We have a number of public hearings this afternoon. So I thank you all again for joining us, and just want to thank everyone again for celebrating Muslim American Heritage Month, and to thank our staff for helping coordinate and pull everything together today. So we are in recess until this afternoon. Thank you all.
Tough day.